Hey there, Combo Cabal. Bryant Cook, and today we are playing a donation deck, and it is called, I don't like the name of it to be honest, but Petal Festival. But let's be honest, this is just Twiddle Storm, and the deck used to run Petals of Insight, which is how I got the Petal, and then Market Festival. It's a bad deck name. It's literally just blue-green Pauper Twiddle Storm, and like call it for what it is, because it is literally just Twiddle Storm. So once I started looking at the deck from that perspective, it made a lot more sense. When this deck was submitted, I was like, oh god, this deck's such a pile. And then it was explained to me that you're literally just playing modern Twiddle Storm, but you need to build your Lotus. And once that was explained to me, it was like a light bulb went in my head, and I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot more sense now. And like I just instantly understood how the deck works. So what you're looking to do is you're looking to build your own Lotus. So you want to put Simic Growth Chamber into play, or a Fertile Ground, plus a Dawn's Reflection or a Market Festival on a land. So basically you want a land that taps for 4 mana. And then at that point you start casting Ideas Unbound, Splicing, Psychic Puppetry, or Peer Through the Depths, or Peer Through Depths. These are your Arcane spells. You can also do a Psychic Puppetry. And basically you just start churning through your deck until you hit Flux, discard a bunch of cards, get your deck really low, and eventually, and this deck takes a very long time to win, you hit to the point where you have you're chaining Stream of Thoughts along with Ideas Unbound and Psychic Puppetry until you're just slowly decking your opponent over and over and over with lots of clicks. This deck, in my experience, goes to time in the round or burns out your clock quite a bit. You can't spend a whole lot of time thinking, you just need to get going. Yeah, so why don't we start up here. Ash Barrens is a fetch land, and the fact that it cycles to shuffle for Ponder and Brainstorm. Same thing with Evolving Wilds, but in play. 9 basics feels about right to me. 19 lands in my experience. I've only played 5 matches in the practice room just because I wanted to get a feel for how this deck plays before I actually play it in the recorded league. 19 lands felt good, but there were a few times when I was mid-combo where I would just play my draw spell into 3 lands. I don't know if you need all 19, but I'm not the expert, so 19's fine. 1 Brainstorm I'm okay with, like it's a target for Merchant Scroll. Same thing with Giga Draws. You just need the 1 in the main. You scroll for it, tap down your opponent's lands, and then win. Ponder. I do not like 3 Ponders. It bothers me a little bit because I feel like I should be 4, but this deck was submitted. If I was building it, it'd probably have all 4. When you're mid-combo, you need more cantrips to keep on hitting your other arcane spells, and it sort of irritates me. Yeah. So Stream of Thought 2, this is a little bit tricky. 3 would almost be more ideal to play around hate, because like if your opponent relics the other one, winning becomes a lot more difficult. So what you have to do is then you have to replicate the Stream of Thought a number of times, counter the original with Muddle, and then put Stream back into the deck with another one. It's just like a lot of work. But in theory, like you don't want to draw it is the other thing. Like you don't really want to draw them mid-combo. So like, I don't know. Like you could run more on the board if you're worried about graveyard hate. I'm not sure. Merchant Scroll. So it gets to the 1 of Brainstorm, gets Giga Draws, gets Peer Through Depths, gets the Psychic Puppetry. And at first I was like, I think the second one's for Puppetry. And then I started playing it, and I don't know if that's true anymore, just because you only ever want 1. That said, if you're going to win fast, you do need it. So that's sort of interesting. Snap. This is a card I've been relatively unimpressed with so far. Like, it's good for slowing down the opponent, but I never feel like I actually need it on the combo turn. I feel like 2 could be the right number here. I don't know if it needs to be a 3 of, but it does allow you to win your fastest hands. So take that with a grain of salt. Like if you're only worried about speed, Snap is better. I just don't know if that's the case for me personally. Most of the time that I win with this deck, it's on turn 5 or turn 6, which isn't all that fast anyway. Ideas, you know, part of the core of the Arcane, Splicing, all that good stuff. Muddle searches for Ideas Unbound. It also gets Merchant Scroll. So like I had one game where I muddled for Merchant Scroll so I could Giga Draws on their end step. That's something you can do. It obviously also gets Peer and Psychic Puppetry and Snap and Fertile Ground. Like, this card does a lot in this deck. Like, this is definitely a Muddle in the Mixture deck. I think Muddle is secretly one of the best cards in this deck, just because it does so much. It's really, really great. Fertile Ground, I'm always happy to draw this card for the most part. Like, it's pretty good. Compulsive Research. I don't have strong opinions on this card. It's how you win the game after you deck your opponent with Stream of Thought on the same turn. It could be a Words of Wisdom, so you could get it with Merchant Scroll. I don't think you really need that. But honestly, I'd also be okay with this being more than a one of, but just because it's nice to draw on the combo turn, but I don't know if that's necessary. And then you have your lands that help create Lotus, essentially. Petals of Insight is a card that I'd be interested in trying in this deck. Flux is amazing, by the way, is a one of. I probably wouldn't run more than one of this, but I'm always happy to find it mid-combo. Petals is interesting because it gives you another draw spell like Peer or Ideas that you can splice onto. It's just kind of costly at 5 mana, but kind of bummed it's gone. Like, in theory, I haven't actually played with it, but in theory, it seems really nice. In the board, Blue Elemental Blast. You know, obviously it's for the burn matchup. It's good against the Boros Bully deck or Blue-Red Monarch, whatever you like to call it. And more importantly, it deals with, what's that card? Cleansing Wildfire. Because we are a land-based combo deck, it can counter Cleansing Wildfire. So that's pretty huge, especially for 1 mana. Same thing with Negate. Like, I'm boarding in Negate against black decks just to stop Choking Sands. Yeah. Moment's Peace primarily for aggro decks makes a lot of sense. Also, these things are like 2 tickets each, which is ridiculous because I bought this deck. This entire deck was like 13 tickets, and most of it was like Moment's Peace and Merchant Scroll. And then Weather the Storm. The submitted deck list had 2 Disdainful Strokes in it over 2 Weather the Storms. I changed that primarily because in the 5 practice room matches I played, I couldn't think of a single matchup where I was like, yeah, I definitely wanted those Disdainful Strokes here. And I've gone through like the MTG Goldfish front page, and I don't know, there's probably a reason, but I felt like my red matchup was so close that I thought Weather was needed. So I'd really like Weather the Storm. Yeah. And if you have any suggestions, comments, etc., make sure to leave those in the description below. But once again, this is a donation deck. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up at theepicstorm.com/donation decks and check out all of our tier information. So the $25 tiers, I'm just going to play your deck and make suggestions at the end. The middle tier, you get a percentage off at theepicstorm.com on merchandise. But on top of that, like, I'll help you build your deck more optimally. I'll make suggestions at the end. And then the third tier, you actually get to come on here and play the deck with me. You can talk through some of these things, like why this deck needs Disdainful Stroke. You get a greater discount at theepicstorm.com/shop. And you get to really showcase your deck. But on top of that, I'll help you with the nitty-gritty of deck building, like sideboard mapping, all that good stuff. So once again, you can get that information at theepicstorm.com/donation decks. I'm happy to play your combo deck. But without further ado, I'd like to thank the person that donated this deck. And I'm sorry, but I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but Nut Bursorama? I completely butchered that, but thank you. I do appreciate your donation, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. But let's get playing some Magic. I've babbled on long enough. Alright, round number 1. We are facing Morphling17, who is a Legacy Delver player. I've already talked some trash in chat to them, saying that they can't win with Delver and Legacy, so they came here. I imagine they're on a Delver deck. This hand is pretty close to me. You only have the 1 island, but I think that this is probably a keep. Alright, well, not a Delver deck. Elves! I don't know how our Elves matchup is. But I definitely need... I'd love to find the blue-green bounce land. Okay. Sorry, I just ate dinner. I'm a little gassy. I scrubbed out of the Legacy PDQ today, so I imagine at some point there will be a notification letting me know about like the 5 chests I get or whatever. All right, another island isn't awful. I think we need to ship this. Okay, so definitely leading on this brainstorm a little bit. All right, so we found this in a growth chamber. I guess I could have played Island, but I think I would have needed to brainstorm differently. I'm just going to discard a... probably a scroll here. Alright, so this is the wall combo deck. Yeah, I definitely messed up that brainstorm because I want the idea... Like, I completely punted that. So that's my own fault. This seems pretty good. I like all of this. So we don't have a land that taps for 3 yet is the big issue. No, I'm sorry, a land that taps for 4 yet. So we definitely want to improve on this fertile ground, but I don't know. I feel like we might be able to get going soon. So now that creature taps for 2. No, that's dangerous. Looks like we're in trouble. I should look up what's in the board of these wall combo decks. But so the more recent list, the last one has a Tranquility in the board. I don't want to see that as a one of. Tranquility, it's gonna blow me out. So I guess it's go time. I don't really like that, but here we are. So we don't have a land that taps for everything we want. Okay. Plenty of green mana. I don't know if any of this even matters. Like, I can cast Peer. The problem is that all of them are -1 mana. Because we don't have... Everything we're doing right now is -1. And I can't get an enchantment that does what I want with Peer. Okay. Well, I guess I can use up some of this green mana, which is actually kind of nice. Okay, still no enchantment to help this through. Okay, do we have enough gas here? So this will be... four mana. Alright, so the Dawn's Reflection was good. I just can't use it yet, I guess. I need another untapper. So this digging for snap is actually pretty good at the moment. Another ideas inbound, I'll take that. All right, hold on. How much mana do I have? So I still only have 6, which is just 1 short. Still 1 short. So this is 3, 5, 6, yeah. So Peer's always free, like I said, so like it doesn't hurt to cast it. Problem is I lost a mana playing that So 3. I'm back up to 6, which just isn't good enough. I wonder if there's like some sort of trick, like a merchant scroll for another Psychic Puppetry. Maybe I should have thought of that sooner. Let's try it. I don't actually know if that's any good or not. I don't think it is. Now that I think about it. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. So that actually just cost me mana. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm like trying to figure this out as I go. So I can go up to 4. That just doesn't do it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to shuffle in some more untap effects. I feel like I might have punted this game. This is like sort of a Hail Mary here. I mean, I'm looking for a really busted draw 7. Like, multiple snaps is what I need, that sort of thing. Also, like, multiple snaps can bounce some of this stuff so we can live a turn. There's one snap. I just don't think that's good enough. Okay, so let's add... Four mana. They can attack for 9 next turn, and we'll go to 1. Okay, please don't kill me. Oh, I forgot that we have to discard our hand. I'm so dumb. I mean, we couldn't win that turn anyway, so we're just praying to rip here. I messed that up. Took over 10 minutes of our clock, too. Need a miracle. Neither of these are going to do. Alright, game 2. I realize that I didn't play that perfectly, but I'm trying to figure things out as I go. Alright, so Moment's Peace probably is a card that we want. We can still die to the Invoker, but this is like essentially a time walk. We wouldn't have had to rush like that. Probably don't need this Giga Drowse. I'm really hesitant on shaving on Muddles because, like, I don't think Merchant Scroll is actually that good in this deck, but like Muddle's pretty important. But I don't know if you're allowed to shave on one or not. I feel like me winning 2 games in 14 minutes is going to be a very tough ask. Like, this deck goes to time in the round a lot. Okay. And if you want to support this content, theepicstorm.com/shop. We don't have any of the Pauper Twiddle Storm deck there, but we have plenty of other sweet, sweet stuff. Okay. Game 2. Sure. Just need a green source. Green source. Okay, so next turn we can play Fertile Ground. Yeah, that game just took up so much time. Like, that's the big problem with this deck is it's just really intensive. Trying to think of the best way that we can go about winning. So this taps for 3. There's no way of me playing Fertile Ground into Market Festival this turn. I guess I could play Fertile Ground on this island. Is that even good, though? So I would play that here. I'd have... play my land. I think I'm better off just holding it. I don't have time to be wasting on stuff like that. So we're gonna be attacked by an Ulamog's Crusher. This turn we'll sack the 2 islands, and then we'll have our Lotus. Chose not to play Crusher. They can still play Crusher this turn. I was wondering if it was creatures with Defender you control have haste or all, but it's just all creatures. Which would make more sense. And there's the Crusher. A lot of weight is being on this put on this Peer Through Depths, because we have to chain a number of spells to win on our turn, most likely. Moment's Peace does not stop Annihilator. Another Peer's okay. What am I doing? I just need to play faster. I take ideas. I think I have to take the Preordain. Oh, shit. All right, Dak, thank you. Oh, fuck you too, Dak. That sucked. So we've resolved 2 ideas. We're gonna have to discard. Sorry, I know that I'm not doing a great job narrating. I'm just like trying to pay attention to the clock and what we can actually do. I can use a puppetry to buy time next turn as well by tapping the creature. Okay. Let's shuffle some ideas and bound back in, because that's what we really need to hit here. That's annoying. Did I just lose? We're gonna have to discard 3 cards. Yeah, I'm probably just dead. These Moments pieces kind of bit me in the butt. Maybe I wasn't supposed to sideboard. Like, if those are Merchant Scrolls, maybe I can go get, like, more copies of Pier. I guess we have 3 Piers in the graveyard. So maybe that's a bad idea. And maybe instead of shuffling in a Snap, I should have shuffled in a Pier. One thing I learned when I was playing this deck in the practice room is you cannot splice multiple copies of Psychic Puppetry onto an Arcane spell and expect to untap twice, because once it resolves that land, it's all one spell. So, like, you tap it and then untap, like, it all happens at once. So, it's not great. So multiple copies of Psychic Puppetry are not good for that reason. But I think we're probably going to need a miracle in order to win this. We have 4 copies of Ideas Unbound in our deck. We're going to have to ideas into like a string of good cards. One of them would have to be the last Psychic Puppetry. Our opponents right now, they're digging for the Flamewood Invoker, so that way they can deal me 3 twice with 16 mana. I don't think it's very likely to happen, but it could. Maybe they'll get there. Who knows? I guess they could also be digging for another Ulamog's Crusher. That's a possibility. This is so much work for our opponent to just, like, pass, have us draw a land, and concede. Like I said. Alright, so we're 0-1. I don't think I played that round perfectly, but hopefully we'll win some matches throughout, like, after this. Words are tough. Don't go anywhere. Okay, round 2. We're going to get this one. This is a pretty good hand. I also wonder, like, what the Moment's Peace matchups are if they're not the wall deck. Because I felt like maybe I just wasn't supposed to board there, or maybe I don't know how to board outside of taking out the Giga Draws. Because, like, the scrolls maybe shouldn't have left, I don't know. Looks like we're facing the land destruction deck, which might be difficult for us. I'm going all in. I'm pretending that they don't have it. Metal to make sure can also counter some of that stuff. Alright. Someone's a jerk. This matchup's going to be kind of tough. No, so you just have 3 more land destruction spells in your hand? Sweet. think we're just going to take 6 here. Next to infinite mana for the opponent. So I go to 11, they're swinging for 9. I don't think I'm going to get this one. So we have 4 mana right now. I can snap and make 1. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, we're just dead. Alright. Seemed like a matchup where I want to bring in Negate. I just don't think we have time for things like Merchant Scroll, unfortunately. Probably don't want to bother with Giga Drowse. Like, one of the things with this deck is it's an engine deck, so you can't take out or board in too many things or else the deck becomes weaker. Yeah, and part of me is wondering if, like, maybe some of these cantrips should be Petals of Insight, so that way you have more big, like, we lost the previous game because we didn't have enough, like, big mana draw spells. But I don't have any experience with Petals of Insight. Maybe it's too costly even with Psychic Puppetry. Like, I just don't know. I haven't played this deck enough. I don't think we can keep this. Sure. Yikes. It's interesting they didn't try to blow up any of our lands there. Boarding party. It's really good. kidding me. Come on. Alright, I don't think I can afford to sit on Muddle anymore. Or even the Snap. Okay, that's step one. Like, we just have to run this out because next turn we have to win the game. It's going to be a tall ask as it is. And that is lethal. That was a fast match. We're 0-2. Okay, back for round number 3. We're on the play. Sure. Okay. Don't really care about Crypt Rats. So I plan on using this Pure Through Depths to get rid of this Simic Growth Chamber. I might actually want the Muddle. So what I'm going to do here is use the alternate mode on this Muddle to make sure to go get another Fertile Ground, because then this taps for 4. Like, Muddle's just really good in this deck. Nope. There we go. Apparently got I missed top 64 in the BTQ. That's what that means. Sorry, I should focus on this. So I can cycle, or not cycle, cast Splice. People are talking about the standings of the PTQ. All right, let's do it. So Flux is on the bottom of the deck now. Trying to run as fast as I can. So this, I can actually play another one of these now, I believe. And now we make all the mana. Yes, yes, all of the mana. So I found that this sort of play pattern is actually the fastest way to win with this deck, if I'm being honest. Just make a bunch of mana and then replicate your Psychic Puppetry. But we have quite a bit to go. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten that. I probably should have gotten a muddle. I wasn't paying attention. I thought that I still had gas in my hand. That was just a play mistake on my part. All right. I want the flux, but I think I'm supposed to take ideas here. We'll just ponder to shuffle. I think I'm supposed to keep this, actually. Okay. If someone knows a way of getting multiple Psychic Puppetries to work the way that I want it to, let me know. But I just don't think it works like that. Okay. The one land rule them all. Our opponent wouldn't let me finish. Alright. They got bored. I understand. Probably want these negates. I just don't know how to board with this deck. I think that's my big thing. Snap seems nice, but I don't think we need it for this matchup. Maybe I should have been slimming on snaps the entire time. I'm just going to board like this. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow all of our social media channels. Support the Storm. Alright, game 2. This seems fine to me. Poor fertile ground. Maybe I wasn't supposed to keep that because I don't have a land that generates 4 mana yet. So maybe I'm supposed to ship that sort of preordain. I just don't know. For what it's worth, I do think that this deck has a lot of potential. I was actually like pleasantly surprised by how good it was. It sucks that I'm 0-2 because I do think that the deck is better than that performance, and I misplayed a little bit. But hopefully we can finish strong. So I think next turn I want to Brainstorm and then Evolving Wilds. I'm just looking for ways to get the enchantments. I thought about getting Muddle the Mixture, but Muddle just for... Ooh, that's brutal. But Muddle just for a +1 isn't exactly what we need. Oh no! Winning just got a lot harder. I can still win, it's just a lot of work now. Oh, crap. So basically, by the time you win, you have to start replicating and counter the original and shuffle the one back in. It's just so much work. Hit me hard with the discard. So many bogs. So I think we have to discard Preordained Psychic Puppetry and pray that Ideas wins. And if our opponent has any discard spell, we're in trouble. Maybe I'm not supposed to have Negate in the deck. And just don't worry about Choking Sands. As we draw the Negate. Cancel. It's because it's fine. Alright, let's go to game 3. That did not pan out. No, Negate's definitely better than those other cards. I guess I could bounce like the whatever it was called, but I didn't have Negate in my hand anyway. Resubmitting. Okay. I think I'm just gonna pass. Need to draw a Petal Festival or the market. Can't keep that. I do think that's like one of the few things that I dislike about this deck is that Pier doesn't get any of the enchantments. And I really wish that there was an untap effect that wasn't Snap or the Psychic Puppetry. If there was like a... I know it's an uncommon, or at least I think it is. It's like X blue blue untap X permanents. Like something like that could end up being nice. I don't know. Fortunately, I think that we have a decent amount of time as of right now. Or maybe I was supposed to get Snap with that Merchant Scroll, just in case they have the Ninjutsu creature. That's kind of annoying. Getting a little too close to being low on life to hold open the gate. Ugh. All right. I don't think that the deck is this bad. I really don't. Maybe the practice room games were all a fluke. Like, this deck performed better. Granted, they're just practice room. Like, practice room magic doesn't matter. Leagues don't matter. But, like, these games don't feel like... Oh, you're not even going to try to kill me with the Sign of Blood? The disrespect. It was way too late. All right, we're 0-3. All right. Round 4. Let's see if we can get one. We're on the play. I don't know what our opponent's playing. This seems fine. I feel bad because, like, this deck is definitely better than what my record is. I think we just need to bottom things until we get enchantments, maybe. I'd certainly be interested in playing this deck again. That said, I think I want Petals of Insight somewhere in the deck. I'm not 100% on that, but it's just like a gut feeling. Do I really want this? Probably. Might be dead before I can actually play any of this stuff, though. Maybe I should upkeep Pier. So that way I don't draw those 2 lands. And then I can play Ponder. Opponent is trying to kill me. They're going to have lethal next turn. If they have like a pro blue spell here, I'm just dead. Okay. I guess I could look for snap. So they have pro blue now. So snap isn't going to do it. So I can play Market Festival, but I don't have an untap effect yet. Yikes. I think I just lost. Maybe I was supposed to peer because of that. Shit. Yeah, I'm just dead. I guess I can hit blue land plus snap here to keep me alive. Nope. Well, Moment's Peace is certainly good against this deck. Once again, it comes back to, like, how am I supposed to board? Snap seems good. Like, I don't think I want to board that up. Maybe I shave a muddle. Sure. Sorry if it seems like I'm like sad when I'm playing this deck. I'm not trying to seem sad or anything. I'm just like not super confident in these plays because I've never played this deck before. Like when you're winning, this deck is super fun. I'm just a little sad that I'm not winning more. There we go. Our opponent's trying to kill us, though. Taking 7, going to 9. So, I can't play Market Festival without dying. Let's get a land out of the deck, I suppose. We're just looking to buy time with this Moment's Peace. This plays around Mana Tithe. Because I've certainly been tithed before out of these white decks. Once again, we're still a mana short. Because this costs 3 now. We can find another Moment's Peace. We could double time walk again. That would be nice. So we could attempt to win right here, but we lose to Mana Tithe. We can't snap the creature because it has Pro Blue. Did I just like cause myself the game by playing around Mana Tithe? Okay. All right, so we found our time walk. I imagine that this card specifically is to get rid of Moment's Peace. Okay. I think we're doing it. Okay. How much mana is this? So I have 7 mana. I can muddle for ideas and cast it through Mana Tithe. Okay, so now we do this again. So many cards. Yep. I just remember that I can't take the Fertile Ground as much as I want to. I should probably start adding a little bit of green. Yep, I would like these cards. There's just so much work for everyone. Let's add some more mana. Okay. Let's add a whole bunch more. Okay, so now we peer Splice Puppet. Actually, cancel. Okay. Had a whole bunch of mana. So now we have to target the other stream of thought. I guess maybe I should have done this a little bit differently because it's entirely possible that I fizzle here now. I guess I should take a land out of the deck with this. Reduce my odds a little bit. Oh no, it happened. It's fine. We don't need to win this turn. How many ideas have I cast? Too many. Can't believe I fizzled. That's my own fault. I could have gotten peers instead of ideas. But peers don't actually thin your deck. So we don't want to draw the other ideas inbound because we can't win with it. So we actually want to draw the other stream of thought. All right, well, we still have the other moments piece. We need the other stream of thought here. Okay, so this taps for roughly 1,000,000 mana. Do I even want to kick it? I don't think I do. Let's get back the puppetry. And ideas. Is that, or maybe I do peer. Oh no, did I really just fizzle this again because I messed up? Ah, I need to get better at this. Can't believe I just messed this up again. Pretty disappointed with this, that I keep on messing this up. I guess I'm leaving myself dead in Mana Tithe here too. Yeah, I didn't play this that well. I don't know. So I guess if I just get like a bunch of ideas about, I leave myself in a spot where like I just can't die. And now I just don't target anymore. So like I have one card in my deck that's a fail at the moment. Guess I'm dead to Mana Tithe though. Or the Beckon Apparition. I think actually I have 0 cards in my deck that are dead draws. But I only have 7.5 minutes. This deck is like playing Doomsday if you have to exile your deck the hard way. Definitely glad I boarded in the Moments pieces, though. Alright, so that was actually the one card I didn't want to draw, but it's fine because we can replicate enough to deck our opponent. I just wish that there was a faster kill con. Wow. Wow, wow. Alright. So, if you're unfamiliar with my content, I'm Bryant Cook, and I am a part of the Eternal Glory podcast. We're available on all major podcast platforms. Make sure to subscribe. Okay, game 3. We have 7 minutes to win. Can we do it? Not with this hand. Little hesitant to keep this. Alright, really need a green land. I think we're going to lose this game because we didn't draw a green source. Yikes. And that'll do. That was a quick, good games. Didn't draw a green source, and we got punished. Maybe I should have gone to 5. I don't know. But we're 0-4. Round 5 is coming up. Alright, so we're on the draw for round number 5. I'm going to keep this. I don't know if you're supposed to ship these hands, but I'm going to try it out. Alright, so waiting on the opponent here. The opponent's like in chat saying that one of us should concede. No, I came here to play Magic. Okay. So we didn't actually get to play Magic. Well, we technically got a win, but that was pretty miserable. I'm sorry. My opponent was just like, hey, I'm 0-4. Well, can I concede for one chest? And I was like, I'm 0-4 too. And then they just conceded. I don't partake in that sort of stuff anyway. Like, I came here to play Magic. So, obviously, I didn't play perfect this league. Like, I can't fix that. I do have a couple thoughts. One, I'm not that big of a fan of Merchant Scroll. I think that slot just isn't really needed in the deck, and it fights a lot with Muddle of the Mixture. You only need so many tutors, because, like, you can only have so many peers. You only can use one Psychic Puppetry whenever you're going through with splicing stuff. So, like, multiple Psychic Puppetry isn't good. So I just don't think you want this Merchant Scroll. I think I'd like to see a more streamlined list. Let's duplicate this. So I think you lose the Brainstorm, you lose the Giga Drowse, lose these. I kind of want the 4th Psychic Puppetry, to be honest. Like, I get that you can only use one at a time, but there's this, you need it in order to win, because you want it without your ideas amount. And when you start to have multiples, you can just use them to generate mana on your Lotus land. And that's like a big thing for me. So like when I'm winning, I don't want to loop it 400 times. I just want to get enough mana to replicate it a couple times and then like do that. Like I'd rather mill half their deck with the replicate than go through the loop over and over and over. So I think I'd like to see Ponder 4, these Preordains, this, and then like we have 2 open slots. Let's make those Petals. Like put Petals as insight back into the deck. I don't have them, I don't think. Yeah, I don't. But we can do this. We're not going to use the Modern Masters one. Let's get these. So, like, you can put those back into the deck. So you can draw... This is just a draw 3 that you can use over and over with this Psychic Puppetry once you started to gain a bunch of mana. So, like, to me, this actually seems a little bit better. Like, I just didn't love the Merchant Scrolls. Maybe I'm playing the deck wrong. That's entirely possible. But it just seems too cute. You can add another Giga Jaws into the board. We didn't face burn, so the Weather the Storms never came up. But I never felt like I wanted to board in 4 cards. So like maybe you can shave a Moment's Peace and just do this in the board. And maybe this would be better. It's just a thought. And I'm sorry that this league was cut a little bit short. That's what I have to say. I've never 0-5'd a league before. This is pretty close. Yikes. Well, if you stuck it this far, I don't know why, but thank you. And I hope you enjoy your day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.